Hello, can you all see me and hear me? Okay. Good evening to you all in La Piranta and good morning from San Francisco. I must apologize for this delay in starting our video conference. There was some glitch in being able to log in at my end. But anyway, I'm glad that I'm able to be with all of you now. Let me just send a quick email to Hannes that I'm with you because we were chatting, and I need to tell Hannes that I'm able to be in the video conference with you. Okay, so I was able to communicate and send a message to Hannes that I'm finally online. It was a little bit frustrating, but I'm glad I'm there. As you know, today's agenda is to discuss the Amazon.com 2018 case. And you have all submitted your homeworks. 4 of the team submitted videos and the rest of you submitted papers. Today I'm going to review 2 of the videos. I will play them and then we can have a discussion. Then I will invite the other 2 teams whose videos I'm not able to show today to tell us how their presentations are different from the other 2 that we see. And then we'll throw it open to more questions about the case. So I've selected to show you the video of team number 2 first, and then I will show you the video of team number 3. And I think they represent, the whole spectrum or the contrast in terms of my expectations. So let me do that. Let me share my screen and play the YouTube video from team number 3. Please take a listen. If you get an email from Hannes to log into another meeting, please ignore that, because now this is working and we don't need to log into any other meeting. So please ignore an email from Hannes if you get one. I want to go to So I'm going to share my screen. And I hope you can see the Amazon video, which I'm going to play for you right now.
based on the analysis. We choose recommendations for Amazon and assess their. So let's start with the problem. The first problem we define is significantly low operating. The CEO, Jeffrey Bezos, has prioritized growth and investment in new business areas over profit. It might explain this. As you can see in the table, total revenue is remarkably high, but so are the cost of goods sold and certain general and administrative expenses, resulting in significantly small operating. Now you can see the graph of the operating margin as a percentage of revenue is small. In comparison to competitors such as Alibaba, which is also an internet retailer with operating margin of 26.9%, Amazon's profit margins are extremely small at 2.3% in 2020. This also applies to the company with a similar market capitalization as Microsoft, with an operating margin of 20.8% and Google with an operating margin of 20.6% in 2017. Now, profit margin is alarming. Well, there are several reasons. First, as the President Trump pointed out, Amazon was not collecting sales taxes from marketplace suppliers. However, in case of changes in legislation, such as new tax obligations and an increase of existing taxes,
So I've stopped the video because I saw some chat that you're not able to hear the audio. It's better now. Now it works. Can we start from the beginning? Okay. So I'm going to increase the volume and then start the video from the beginning. Please bear with me.
good evening, everyone. Today we will present to you our case about Amazon. As you all probably know, Amazon is an American internet retailer and the second most valuable company in the world. Despite being the largest internet retailer by revenue and market capitalization, Amazon should keep in mind problems it might face. To identify these problems, we put ourselves in Jeffrey Bezos' shoes, who is the founder and the CEO of Amazon. In this presentation, we will firstly define Amazon's problems, then we will propose alternative solutions and analyze their strengths and weaknesses. At the end of the presentation, based on the analysis, we choose recommendations for Amazon and assess their impact. So let's start with the problem definition. The first problem we defined is a significantly low operating profit margin. The CEO, Jeffrey Bezos, has prioritized growth and investment in the new business areas over profits, which might explain this. As you can see in the table, total revenue is remarkably high, but so are the cost of goods sold and certain general and administrative expenses, resulting in a dramatically small operating income margin. Now you can see the graph of the operating profit margin as a percentage of revenue, which is very small. In comparison to the competitors, such as Alibaba, which is also an internet retailer with operating margin of 27.9%, Amazon's profit margins are extremely slim at 2.3% in 2017. This also applies to the competitors with a similar market capitalization, such as Microsoft, with an operating margin of 24.8%, and Google, with an operating margin of 23.6% in 2017. Now, you might be wondering why a low profit margin is alarming. Well, there are several reasons. First, as the President Trump pointed out, Amazon was not collecting sales taxes from marketplace suppliers. However, in case of changes in legislation, such as new tax obligations and an increase of existing taxes, Amazon would need funds to cover these unexpected costs. This might be a problem due to the insufficient funds as the profit margin is low. Moreover, unexpected changes from the third parties might require additional funds. Second, when assuming Amazon would want to lower prices and retain its competitive advantage, the company might not be able to do so. This is due to the fact of the profit margin being already so low that there would be no room to reduce the prices even more. Another hurdle that Amazon needs to overcome is quickly changing trends in industry, as well as harder satisfaction of customers' needs and a tough competition. All of these require a continuous innovation. If Amazon keeps adapting incremental innovation only, and is not vigilant enough to embrace radical innovation at the right time, it might lose its current position. For instance, Amazon's virtual assistant Alexa faces stiff competition from Google and Apple. In case Amazon fails to innovate in this field, as well as other areas where the company has a leading position, such as the ebook market, Amazon might lose the market share and end up like Blockbuster or Kodak. Amazon's quick expansion might also pose problems, as Amazon is constantly entering new markets and acquiring new businesses. However, this might be risky, as rapid global expansion is difficult to manage, as several things such as language, cultural differences, global competition, foreign legislation, and supply chain management need to be considered. Quick expansion also leads to a fast-growing customer base that needs to be properly managed to guarantee the best possible customer satisfaction. What is more, Amazon also needs to take into account possible data theft and security breaches. Besides Amazon Prime members that accounts for 100 million customers worldwide, there are also occasional shoppers who provide not only their personal information, but also their credit card data. In the event of a cyber attack, millions of data could be lost, which might tremendously harm Amazon's reputation. As we now know Amazon's problems, let's have a look at the alternative solutions we propose. To tackle the problem of the low profit margin, Amazon could slightly increase prices and shipping fees, which would represent a short-term solution. Amazon is an established and globally recognized company with a strong brand equity and loyal customers. This can acknowledge a high quality and reliability of services and therefore would not mind a small rise in prices of the products. However, because simply rising prices might be seen as a negative act, Amazon should also add some benefits to its offering while increasing prices and thus making the changes less unwanted for customers. This could be done by introducing different types of memberships along with the Amazon Prime membership. Customers could personalize their membership packages based on their interests to increase customer value. However, price-sensitive customers could still perceive this change negatively and switch to a competitor. In order to stay innovative, several long-term solutions can be proposed. First, Amazon could introduce virtual shopping reality in the form of Amazon Mall that would create a new kind of shopping experience for customers and would perfectly fit into the rising trend of brand experience. By putting on VR glasses, the customer could enter Amazon Mall with different departments. VR glasses would provide a product overview, reviews from other customers, ingredients, instructions, and prices. At the end of a shopping spree, the customer could pay via VR glasses as well as choose their delivery type. Pros of this service include enhanced convenience, next-level customer experience, as well as customization, as the customer could choose own music or an audible book while shopping. Virtual reality would also offer an interactive portfolio, such as view product in a real size, automatic 360 view, and try-on technology to see how the product would look like on the customer. Moreover, this solution would also reduce returns, as the customers could examine products in detail and would be focused on shopping only. Also, customer service would be provided by virtual humans. On the other hand, cons include huge investments and time-consuming implementation, as long-term planning would be required. Furthermore, virtual reality equipment for the customers would be needed and could cause dizziness. Moreover, Amazon could implement blockchain technology in numerous ways. Blockchain is a transparent database, recording all the transactions, storing data, and maintaining information. It is also decentralized, meaning it's distributed among several software users and can store and send cryptocurrencies. By implementing blockchain, Amazon could solve multiple problems at once. Blockchain boosts cybersecurity, ensures data stored are confidential and safe, and prevents potential data theft. In case of a cyber attack, a hacker would have to hack every single software in the network, which is practically impossible. Due to Amazon being a global company, using various currencies, it would be beneficial for the company to introduce its own cryptocurrency called Amazon. This would represent a common and safe currency for all the users, stored electronically in the blockchain. There would be neither fees nor potential risks, as the government and the financial intermediaries are excluded from the transactions. Additionally, supply chain management would be more transparent with blockchain. Despite being very innovative and super secure, blockchain is also complex and nascent technology. Due to this fact, the transaction speed is still quite slow, and there are missing laws which would regulate the blockchain usage. Lastly, this technology is expensive to develop and maintain. Distribution and logistics needs to be considered, as Amazon is a huge company and its network keeps on growing, while there are concerns regarding the environmental impact of companies. Amazon should work to guarantee that its distribution and logistics networks are environmentally friendly. While it already uses solar and wind power, it could also use biofuel in transportation and geothermal energy for its plants to further reduce the effects on the environment. Using electric vehicles would be another good step towards greener operations. In case of the air transportation, Amazon should restrict it, as it is the least sustainable way to freight products. The company should also encourage the employees towards sustainability by lending them bicycles for free. With regards to the packaging, Amazon could optimize it and replace the current plastic air cushion filling with a more sustainable alternative, such as cardboard shreds. This could be made of recycled old boxes. The strength of these changes would be the positive environmental effect and thus improve brand image in the form of the enhanced corporate social responsibility. However, being greener and more sustainable requires costly investments. What do we really recommend based on our previous analysis? Well, let's go over it together. Nowadays, Amazon is one of the most innovative companies, but they should keep track with the current innovative technology such as blockchain. We have previously shown possible implementation of blockchain. However, due to the complexity of the technology, as well as the size of the company, we realize it's going to be a long-term process. That is why we think that the first area where Amazon should start utilizing blockchain technology is cybersecurity, as the protection of customers' personal data should be the priority for the company. Nevertheless, implementing blockchain technology faces both organizational and environmental constraints. As it is not very well known yet, Amazon would need to educate not only the employees, but also third parties they work with, as well as the customers. Current unfamiliarity with the blockchain allows significant freedom, which might be strictly regulated in the future due to the social, economic, and legal requirements. Furthermore, to increase innovativeness, Amazon could take advantage of open innovation. For example, partnership with startups could provide new ideas for product development of Amazon existing products, and ventures could give access to new technologies. Amazon could also create new products and get new ideas for the existing ones by engaging customers. This would help enlarge a committed customer base by letting the people have their voices heard and make an impact. Due to the high costs of going green and the rising need for environmental operations, we recommend two main things to Amazon. First, making transportation more environmentally friendly by using electric cars as well as biofuels for the vehicles. Second, the company should start using shredded cardboard as a package filling instead of plastic air cushions. This recommendation requires short-term implementation and faces a financial constraint. However, we believe that the immense positive impact on the environment outweighs the cost of the investment. The organizational constraint can be seen in Amazon's negotiations with freight and delivery partners. In the analysis part, there were several suggestions regarding the prices for increasing the low operating profit margin. However, increasing prices might be perceived negatively and would represent only a short-term solution. We believe Amazon should introduce more additional services with their products, including additional and extended warranties and ready-to-go devices. This would not raise the price of the product itself, rather would give the customer an option to get these services for an additional cost. Organizational limitation of this recommendation is making the third-party suppliers adapt these changes. Competitors represent the environmental constraint, as Amazon needs to keep the increase of prices in line with the prices of the competition, not to lose a lot of customers. In this presentation, we have only focused on the problems from the point of view of the protagonist, the CEO, Jeffrey Bezos. However, in our opinion, the biggest threat for Amazon is the change of leadership, which will occur when Bezos decides to leave the company. As Jeffrey Bezos founded the company in 1994 and has been directing it during the successful as well as the hard times, we can argue the company is like his baby. He is the main driver of the business with his innovative ideas and attitude towards work ethics. Due to this, we believe it's crucial for Bezos to make sure there will be a right successor who will follow in his footsteps and will not be blinded by an early success, as Bezos believes that the company shouldn't get addicted to being shiny because shiny doesn't last. Thank you for your attention. Have a nice evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Today we will...
Okay, so I hope you were able to see and hear the video. Now we would like to get to the discussion portion. And what I would like to do is, since we lost some time, instead of using the chat box, I would like to try out using the microphone for you all. So I just want to see where the microphones are. Right. So the first question I want to put to all of you is, what do you think are the strengths of this presentation that Team 2 did in this video? Can we try to learn from them in terms of what was good about their presentation? So I would like you to just raise your hand, and then I'll give you the microphone to speak, if I can. So again, the question to all of you who have just reviewed the video is, what do you think was impressive about Team 2's video? And can we try to assess their strengths? And if you go into your participant box, okay, I see one hand up over here. Essie, I'm going to allow you to talk in the microphone. Please go ahead.
Yes, you hear me?
Yes.
What I found really interesting was their problem definition was really wide but detailed. They had like come up with the problems in multiple dimensions, and the solutions or the answers for the problems were really defined and really innovative, and they have actually like detailed plan for how to tackle those problems.
Yes, thank you, Essie. I agree with you. I think they had a very good structure. They followed the recommended structure: problem definition, alternative solutions, and then the recommendations. And they had pretty good analysis in terms of the first problem definition, where they showed the data from the exhibits that Amazon has a very low operating profit margin, 2.3%, versus 27.9% for Alibaba, which is huge. So do you see how you can use good data to, analyze some of the problems? And part of the case study exercise is to look at the exhibits and see which is relevant and which is not relevant. So thank you, Essie. Anything else you would like to add?
No.
Okay.
No,
Thank you.
not for now. Thank you.
Thank you. So I will turn off Essie's mic, and I want to go to anybody else. Would you like to raise your hand, and then I'll give you a chance to speak? So did anybody else notice any good parts of the presentation that Team 3 made? Yes, I see a hand up. Lisa, I will go to Lisa and give you the microphone. So please go ahead, Lisa.
Hi, can you hear?
Yes.
So what I liked in their presentation was the creative aspect, especially the virtual mall that they had with the VR classes. And all in all, I really liked their clear structure in the presentation. It was really easy to follow.
Yes, thank you, Lisa. I do agree with you. I think since their first one of the solutions was to increase prices, the only way to make prices stick is to give a better customer experience. And if you can turn the whole web into a VR shopping experience, people may be willing to pay higher prices. So that was a good innovative solution, backed up with the other consistent solution that was to increase prices. So anything else, Lisa?
No, not for now, thanks.
Thanks. Okay, let's see. Anybody else would like to speak in terms of the strengths of the presentation of team number 3? So again, this is an important skill to cultivate when you're reviewing other people's presentations. And I'm sure you'll have lots of these opportunities when you're a manager in an organization. You'll have to give constructive feedback. So we start with the strengths, and we've already pointed out the structure was good and some of the solutions were quite innovative. Does anybody would like to comment on any other strengths? Okay, if not, why don't we go to the other side, which is, was there anything they could do to improve their presentation, either in the analysis or in the recommendations? Were there issues? Like if you were Jeff Bezos listening to this presentation, what would be some objections that you might have? So now let's get to that part of the constructive criticism. Team number 3 did a good job, but are there ways that they could have done anything better? Anybody would like to contribute to this aspect of the discussion? Please raise your hand and I'll give you a chance to speak. Okay, maybe you need a little bit more time to think about it, or maybe you are shy to give any criticism, but let me offer this. I like that there are so many problem definitions. The low operating profit margin was one. The second one was Amazon may lose its leading position if it does not do radical innovation, right? So there is a problem that they have low profit margin. There's a problem that they may not be able to continue doing radical innovation. Now, here's the thing. Aren't those two problems kind of inconsistent with each other? If you want to do radical innovation, you would have to spend a lot on R&D. Would you agree? And if you spend a lot on R&D, your profit margins are going to go down. So it's very difficult to maintain radical innovation and also maintain high profit margin. In fact, that's the very reason that Amazon has throughout its history had such low profit margins, is because Bezos has said he doesn't really care about that. What he cares about is growth, and growth comes from innovation. So that's the trade-off that you have to make. You know, he has chosen the path of growth and innovation, and he has compromised on profit. And it might be difficult to keep doing both. So I'll pause here and see if you have any reactions to that particular comment that I made, or if anybody would like to make any additional comments about how Team 2 could perhaps improve its analysis or its recommendations or any other aspect of the presentation. Please raise your hand and I'll give you a chance to speak. Okay, still nobody would like to speak yet. So let me go to my second point. There was the solution and recommendation for Amazon to introduce a new currency called Amazon, and that would be based on blockchain technology. I understand that team number 2 thought this is a good idea because it might be more secure, and Amazon has to reassure all its customers that it's very good in terms of security. But here's the issue. Have we not seen an example where a lot of currency, bitcoins, was actually stolen? I think there was a news item that I recall some months ago where somebody stole bitcoins. And so I don't know how foolproof that is in terms of security. And the second problem I have with that is that it's really hard to educate people about something so innovative. I don't believe blockchain technology has crossed the chasm. So if Amazon was to get into that, they would have to spend an enormous effort into crossing the chasm with blockchain technology. And is that a good use of its time and resources? And would that distract it from its other, areas of focus? So, everybody's talking about blockchain, but really how difficult is it going to be for them to cross the chasm? That's an issue that I want to raise. So would anybody like to comment on this aspect of blockchain technology? Yes, I see somebody raised their hand. Vladislav. So Vladislav, I put your microphone on, so please go ahead and speak.
Yep. Do you hear me well?
Yes, I do.
All right. I was just also thinking about this blockchain system, and actually, what I think that because they're having their own payment system, so probably don't even have to think in that way because I think it's secure enough, and like probably as you said, it's not pretty the time for blockchain yet. But I mean, like I was just thinking that they might even improve their own system that they have already now. So rather than thinking about their own bitcoins.
Yeah, good point. I agree with you. There's certainly you have to keep improving your own payments and making them more secure. So that would be a good use of their effort and time. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Anybody else would like to comment on the innovative solution and recommendation for Amazon to go into blockchain and its own currency, or offer any other constructive feedback to team number 3? I'm sorry, team number 2. We are still on team number 2. Yes, I see a hand up from Lisa N. Lisa N, I've put your microphone on, so please go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, I actually have more of a question for you.
Yes.
Because I think the solution they brought forth was really good because it was focusing on the financials and how they could be improved. However, in the case, we had the feeling that they said their financials were already doing way better. So, for example, we decided to focus on something else. So it was more an overall question, as in, does it matter what problem you focus on?
Yes, thank you. That's an excellent question. It does matter what problem you focus on. And that's why the frame of reference is Jeff Bezos. So you have to put yourself in Jeff Bezos's shoes, and you have to try to prioritize what are the problems that are most important to him, short term and long term.
Of course, but if in the case they say that financials are not a problem, should we then still look at the appendices?
Where does the case say that financials are not a problem?
It just says that they were performing higher levels of probability than ever and shares reached record levels.
Well, you know, that is one aspect of performance, but I wouldn't advise you to ignore the exhibits.
No, of course.
Yeah, you still need to prioritize the problem. Again, I offered a comment that I didn't think that you can do both, maximize the operating profit as well as do radical innovation. So a choice has to be made. And I think Jeff Bezos has made the choice in favor of innovation. So the priority is there. And in terms of the exhibits, you have to be selective. If you are making some point in the presentation, it should be backed up by the analysis. And so I wouldn't advocate it for everyone, but since they chose to focus on the operating profit margin, their use of exhibits was appropriate. But again, you might have chosen a different, a priority of the problem. And if that doesn't require any support from the exhibits, that's fine too.
Exactly. Thank you. That was my question.
Okay, thanks. Any other comments about team number 2's presentation? So the last comment I'll make about team number 2 is, it was interesting that at the end, they said that they feel that the biggest problem is the succession problem for Jeff Bezos. And it was kind of an addendum at the end. So I don't think it really belongs to the main part of the analysis or recommendations. But I want to try to ask the question, is that really a problem for Jeff Bezos? I mean, if the assignment was to anchor your problems in terms of the protagonist, Jeff Bezos is only 54 years old, and he's so firmly in control. I don't think the leadership issue is anywhere on his mind. Now, if you take the point of view of Amazon in general, yeah, okay, there might be an issue with leadership, but again, the case doesn't tell you anything else about their management. And I believe there's lots of good people right up there with Jeff Bezos, any of whom would be good successors. So just because the case didn't mention all the management talent that they have, it doesn't mean really that there are no successors. So at any rate, I think that there was no need to go into that issue at all, because there wasn't much evidence that Bezos is worried about a leadership issue. So that was my last comment on team number 2. Let's see if anybody has any reactions to that aspect or any other aspect of team 2's presentation. Yes, I want to allow Miko to talk. I've unmuted your mic. Please go ahead, Miko.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was still quite interesting point to bring up, but to put it into contrast, I think that 10 years ago we all thought that Apple equals Steve Jobs, but since the death of Steve Jobs, Apple has been doing, at least in financial terms, better than ever. So I think that probably Amazon can also survive if something happens to Jeff Bezos.
Right. Thank you for that comment. So we don't know what their plans are, and if the case hasn't discussed anything, see, another important aspect of the learning here is you have to make your analysis and recommendations with limited data. So stick to what's in the case, and there's plenty in the case. I think there's a lot more than what you can do probably in a 15-minute presentation, but we like to keep the boundaries. So in general, it's not advisable to stray away from the facts of the case or the problems of the protagonist. Okay, let's see, anybody else? Yes, Lisa Ann would like to speak, so let me give the microphone to Lisa Ann.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry, that was a mistake.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay. Let's see, anybody else would like to speak? Very good. So now I would like anybody from team 2 to, if you've listened to the comments that people have been making, do you have any reactions to what we just commented on? Anything that you would like to say? Anybody from team number 2, which made the presentation? You have the mic if you would like to make any rejoinder comments. So the members of team number 2 are Pepelina, Pasi, Maria, Patricia, and Joel. If any of them are online, would you like to make any comments? I don't want to put you on the spot, but you've done a good job and we've made some comments. I just want to ask you if you would like to react to any of the feedback that's been given. Oh, yes, I do see somebody put up their hand. Yes, Patricia, thank you so much. Please go ahead. I've unmuted your microphone. Patricia, would you like to speak?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'd like to make a comment to the Amazon.
Yes.
It's true that we are not sure how the blockchain will go in the future for the customers. That's the reason why we put in our recommendations to focus more on cyber security of the blockchain, not the cryptocurrency as itself.
Okay, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other comments you would like to make?
And yeah, also when speaking about the contrast of the profit and the radical innovations, we know that those two like cannot go hand in hand, having a high profit and high radical innovations. So it's true that they have to choose, and we think that the Bezos is doing well with his decisions so far.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else would like to comment? All right, so let's close out the team number 2's presentation again. Thank you for doing a good job. It's not easy to be one of the first teams to do the video, but it was interesting and it was executed well. Now I would like to go to team number 3, which did a video, and I'm going to try. Yeah, if you could now could you put your mics back on mute, just so that we don't get any feedback. I'm going to now go to the next video, which is from team number 3. I will share my screen once again. Again, if anybody's microphone is on, could you please put it off so that we don't get any feedback?
Hello, my name is Jesse, and I'm working with Laura and Anna-Julia and Dimitri, and we're having our video presentation about Amazon Prime. We start with the problem definition. Amazon.com was the second most valuable company in the world in 2000. However, we identified possible problems that could be a problem, such as unsatisfied employees. The corporate culture. It was said on the case that a lot of the employees were crying on their desks almost a daily basis, and this was because of the management style, management culture, and as was too stressing, they were too pushed, and they felt they had to try to work. And then, of course, Trump's attack against the company. So the US President Donald Trump attacked Amazon on the spring of 2018. And this was seen because of Jeff Bezos, who is the founder of Amazon, who was one of the owners in Washington Post newspaper, which was criticizing Trump. And hardware is close to break-even price here and debate on Amazon Prime's raised price. And this is our main focus.
So I've just stopped the chat. I've stopped the video because I saw a chat message from one of the group members that I may have the wrong link. So this video is the wrong one. There is another link in the description. In the description to the YouTube video. So, okay, let's try this one. So hopefully this audio is better.
Hello, my name is Jesse, and I'm working with Laura and Anna-Julia and Dimitri, and we're having our video presentation about Amazon Prime. We start with the problem definition. Amazon.com was the second most valuable company in the world in 2018. However, we identified possible problems that could be approached, such as unsatisfied employees and the corporate culture. It was said on the case that a lot of the employees were seen crying on their desks almost a daily basis, and this was because of the management style, management culture in Amazon, which was too stressing, they were too pushed, and they felt they had to cry on work. And then, of course, Trump's attack against the company. So the US President Donald Trump attacked Amazon on spring of 2018. And this was seen because of Jeff Bezos, who is the founder of Amazon, who was one of the owners in Washington Post newspaper, which was criticizing Trump. And hardware is close to break-even price and debate on Amazon Prime's raised price. And this is our main focus, this raised price. And people were seeing that this is a big problem. They wouldn't want to pay that much for Amazon Prime. They didn't think the content was enough for this kind of price. And this is the main problem we are trying to tackle in this presentation. So what is Amazon Prime? Amazon Prime is a package of services. For instance, a delivery service, you get a free 2-day shipping. You get a video streaming, instant streaming of movies and TV shows, and music streaming. And you get the ebook library, so you get instant access to thousands of Kindle books. And this is by the monthly or the annual price. The annual price was raised in May 2018 to $119. It was before $99, so it's $20 more expensive than from 2014 record. Our first solution. It was mentioned in the case that Kindle devices have been priced very low, and that the philosophy is to price the hardware close to break even. And the money is actually made when the consumer uses the product. We are suggesting leasing of Kindle devices for free, so the Kindle Fire, for every Prime subscriber who subscribes for 24 months or more. And that way, we have more Kindle devices in households and more purchases for ebooks, of course. Customer would have more purpose to have Amazon Prime because they would have a physical evidence for the subscription. It would increase the market share of Kindle dramatically. One of Amazon's biggest rivals is Apple and Apple iPad. It is competing directly with Kindle in the tablet market. the more users Kindle have, the more content can be created. So basically this solution benefits not only the new customers, but also already existing ones. This will of course create more expenses for Amazon in producing multiple devices provided for free. But as the volume of the products increases, the cost per unit decreases. Return of invest will be seen in in-device purchases for Kindle device and with increased customer satisfaction, of course, and loyalty. Long-term contracts will pay back the manufacturing cost of the device. And we were thinking the devices should have a subscription long guarantee. It doesn't matter how long the subscription is because the manufacturing cost is not that big. And in case of malfunction, will the subscriber get a new device, and maintaining is done by the company. We made a pros and cons list for this second solution. Pros are, of course, we get more long-term subscribers with this 24-month subscribing, and people wouldn't be only subscribing for per month because they would get the free device if they subscribe for longer period. This would increase our market share. It would increase actually Kindle's market share to a lot, and it would increase our customer loyalty because the long-term subscribers wouldn't be so keen to leave Amazon. And they are, as was said on the case, that the Prime users are ordering almost 4 times more products from Amazon than basic users. And with more Kindle Fire users on the market, we can create more content so everyone benefits who uses Kindle Fire. And then there was this recycling matter. The valuable metals return for reuse because this is a big problem with smartphones and of course with tablets too, that they are not recycled properly, and they have a lot of valuable metals in it, like gold and all these hard metals, and these should be reused. This shouldn't be mined all the time, and this is a big problem worldwide. And cons, of course, increased costs in manufacturing costs because we have to make a lot more Kindle Fires, and it will, of course, so seen a loss of sales in Kindle Fires because people would get them so much for free, they wouldn't be buying it off the market as much. Our second solution is focusing on the segments. Currently, Amazon is focused on the mass market and offers the product with the same price and same content to everyone, except the delivery. The delivery has some variation with the prices. And we were thinking if we would create a different, smaller Amazon Prime service packages and sell them at a lower price. So basically, we could make an Amazon Premium, Amazon Gold, this kind of subscriptions, which would be cheaper, and they wouldn't have all the content. You wouldn't be able to maybe have a video streaming service or the delivery for 2 days or the music service, and it'd be a bit cheaper for customers who don't have that much money to use. So we would have more customers. And we made a pros and cons list for this too. Pros is, of course, more customers can afford it. We get more customers and our market share will grow. It will increase the popularity of these subscriptions and popularity of Amazon. Cons are a lower profit per customer because it will decrease the Prime users. If you have some kind of other solution, you don't have to pay for all of these services. If you don't use the service, why would you pay for the Prime? And existing customers may change to a cheaper service. And basically, we were thinking the cons are maybe too big in this analysis and this solution, in this second solution. So this is not the way we're gonna go. Our third solution is adding sustainability. So when you're paying the annual fee of Amazon Prime, you could choose your charity case of the year or of the month, such as planting a tree for every fee you pay, and animal shelters and vaccination of third world country children that are more disadvantaged, and of course women's education in third world countries. This would add more value to the customer because the customer would see that they are doing something good when they are paying for the Amazon Prime. We made a pros and cons list for this solution too. So the pros are, of course, more value to the customer. As was said, it would be seen as they are doing something good. It would make a better company image. It would build up the brand of Amazon, and Amazon will be seen as one of the good guys on the market because we're doing good. And cons are that this, of course, costs more because of the donations. And there's always the case with the reliability of the charity. So we have to be really careful with what charity we are donating to. There are a lot of examples where big companies have been tricked to give money for like warlords and all of this. So we have to make sure that these are reliable charities. And of course, this requires more marketing, and marketing is always expensive. We have to educate people of these charities, and we have to tell them that we are doing this because otherwise we are only doing good. We are not doing it in a business-wise. So our recommendations are Amazon should get better customer and market knowledge. They have to know how much the price should be, what the people are willing to pay for the content they have. And of course, increasing or making better content, they would pay for more. And the leasing with the Kindle Fire for free, we think it's a good idea with the 24-month subscription, because of when we had the pros there before, but there were a lot more pros than cons for it, because the manufacturing wouldn't be that expensive, and it would create more customers for us. It would create more long-term users for the Prime subscription, which of course makes a lot more money than the manufacturing of the Kindle Fire devices will make. And when thinking about implementing these plans, the Kindle Fire leasing requires, of course, short-term activities such as considerable marketing measures to achieve long-term goals and benefits. Their manufacturing line is already open, so we don't have to actually make a new product. We can use the Kindle Fire that is already existing, so that this could be implemented really fast. It needs, of course, a few months of marketing so that basically people know what they are having, what they are getting. And in long term, of course, this recycling of these devices will be really important, because we want to value up. The green values are really important. They are increasingly more important for the customers too. So we have to be on top of that. And these green values in form of the campaigns are something we would like to do. So the charity cases for third world countries and everything like this, it would be really good for the company image. It would be really good for the company brand, and in that way it will make more money for Amazon.
Okay, so that was the team number 3 that we saw the video from. I want to stop the sharing and go back to the main presentation. Right. So here we are back in the discussion, and like we did for the previous team, I want to first focus on the good parts of the presentation, the strengths. What did you like about team number three's video? If we could have some hands raised, then I'll go to you. I already see one person's, a couple of people. So first I want to go to Arla and allow Arla to speak. Please go ahead.
I just raised a hand because unfortunately we weren't able to see anything because we couldn't see your screen, so we only heard the video and the voice was very, very low.
Is that true for everyone else? You could not see the video at all? Let's see, somebody else put up their hand. Ilya, would you like to comment? Were you able to see the video, Ilya?
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I just want to say same thing. We couldn't watch any video, just sound, and yeah, I don't know how would we comment the video.
Right, so that's a problem. Why don't we
Actually, we were writing in the chat. I guess we had like 10 over messages for you that we can't see the video, but yeah.
I'm sorry, I was totally focused on the video, so I didn't see those. But if you just listen to the audio, we can focus the discussion on that aspect. You heard all their analysis of the problems and of the alternatives and the solutions. Would anybody like to make a comment on in terms of just that aspect, in terms of the things they heard? First, I have to tell you that I thought that the video was very well done and it was quite professional, and especially the beginning had a lot of impact, very slick production. So I'm sorry that I don't have also any more time to backtrack and show that again, but we'll put all the links up for all the videos on Moodle so that you can see them later. Now let's focus on the aspect of what you heard in terms of the problem definition, the analysis, and the recommendations. The audio also you couldn't hear. That's what I'm hearing. So the audio settings and the video settings were, the video setting I can explain. I probably forgot to share the screen, but the audio settings were no different from the previous presentation. So I'm not sure why the audio couldn't be heard. Is there anybody who heard the audio at all? Could you raise your hand if you heard the audio at all? No, nobody heard the audio. Okay, I'm going to try again. If you didn't hear both the video and the audio, then there's no discussion. So I'm going to try to play this again. And this time I'll pay attention to the chat. So please let me know if you are not able to see it. So let me go here and start this again. So before I go any further, can I just ask if you can see the YouTube screen? Yes, so now you can see the YouTube screen. I'm going to play the video again, and if you don't hear it, then please let me know. I'll be paying attention to the chat. Can you hear the audio? Very quiet. Okay. Okay, so it appears this time you could see the video, but you still can't hear the audio. And you know, it's the same settings as before. I haven't changed anything with regard to the audio, so it may be just a server problem. So anyhow, I don't think is the YouTube video sounds on full. Let me check that part. Oh, that's good. Let me play it again now. It wasn't on full, so let me go back here and try to play it again. Are you now able to hear the video? Please let me know if you can hear and see the video. Yes, it is on full.
Hello, my name is Jesse, and I'm working with Laura and Anna-Julia and Dimitri, and we're having our video presentation about Amazon Prime. We start with the problem definition. Amazon.com was the second most valuable company in the world in 2018. However, we identified...
Can you hear the audio better now?
That could be a
okay, you'll be able to see the video. I just have to share it.
The corporate culture. It was said on the case that a lot of the employees were seen crying on their desks almost a daily basis, and this was because of the management style, management culture in Amazon. We start with the problem definition. Amazon.com was the second most valuable company in the world in 2018. However, we identified possible problems that could be approached, such as unsatisfied employees and the corporate culture. It was said on the case that a lot of the employees were seen crying on their desks almost a daily basis, and this was because of the management style, management culture in Amazon, which was too stressing. They were too pushed and they felt they had to cry on work. And then, of course, Trump's attack against the company. So the US President Donald Trump attacked Amazon on spring of 2018. And this was seen because of Jeff Bezos, who is the founder of Amazon, who was one of the owners in Washington Post newspaper, which was criticizing Trump. And hardware is close to break-even price and debate on Amazon Prime's raised price. And this is our main focus, this raised price. And people were seeing that this is a big problem. They wouldn't want to pay that much for Amazon Prime. They didn't think the content was enough for this kind of price. And this is the main problem we are trying to tackle in this presentation. So what is Amazon Prime? Amazon Prime is a package of services. For instance, a delivery service, you get a free 2-day shipping. You get a video streaming, instant streaming of movies and TV shows, and music streaming. And you get the ebook library, so you get instant access to thousands of Kindle books. And this is by the monthly or the annual price. The annual price was raised in May 2018 to $119. It was before $99, so it's $20 more expensive than from 2014 record. Our first solution. It was mentioned in the case that Kindle devices have been priced very low, and that the philosophy is to price the hardware close to break even. The money is actually made when the consumer uses the product. We are suggesting leasing of Kindle devices for free, so the Kindle Fire, for every Prime subscriber who subscribes for 24 months or more. And that way, we have more Kindle devices in households and more purchases for ebooks, of course. Customer would have more purpose to have Amazon Prime because they would have a physical evidence for the subscription. It would increase the market share of Kindle dramatically. One of Amazon's biggest rivals is Apple and Apple iPad. It is competing directly with Kindle in the tablet market. The more users Kindle have, the more content can be created. So basically this solution benefits not only the new customers, but also already existing ones. This will of course create more expenses for Amazon in producing multiple devices provided for free. But as the volume of the products increases, the cost per unit decreases. Return of invest will be seen in in-device purchases for Kindle device and with increased customer satisfaction, of course, and loyalty. Long-term contracts will pay back the manufacturing cost of the device. And we were thinking the devices should have a subscription long guarantee. It doesn't matter how long the subscription is because the manufacturing cost is not that big. And in case of malfunction, will the subscriber get a new device, and maintaining is done by the company. We made a pros and cons list for this second solution. Pros are, of course, we get more long-term subscribers with this 24-month subscribing, and people wouldn't be only subscribing for per month because they would get the free device if they subscribe for longer period. This would increase our market share. It would increase actually Kindle's market share to a lot. And it would increase our customer loyalty because if the long-term subscribers wouldn't be so keen to leave Amazon. And they are, as was said on the case, that the Prime users are ordering almost 4 times more products from Amazon than basic users. And with more Kindle Fire users on the market, we can create more content so everyone benefits who uses Kindle Fire. And then there was this recycling matter. The valuable metals return for reuse because this is a big problem with smartphones and of course with tablets too, that they are not recycled properly, and they have a lot of valuable metals in it, like gold and all these hard metals, and these should be reused. This shouldn't be mined all the time, and this is a big problem worldwide. And cons, of course, increased costs in manufacturing costs because we have to make a lot more Kindle Fires, and it will of course so seen a loss of sales in Kindle Fires because people would get them so much for free, they wouldn't be buying it off the market as much. Our second solution is focusing on the segments. Currently, Amazon is focused on the mass market and offers product with the same price and same content to everyone, except the delivery. The delivery has some variation with the prices. And we were thinking if we would create a different, smaller Amazon Prime service packages and sell them at a lower price. So basically, we could make an Amazon Premium, Amazon Gold, these kind of subscriptions, which would be cheaper, and they wouldn't have all the content. You wouldn't be able to maybe have the video streaming service or the delivery relays or the music service, and it'd be cheaper for customers who don't have enough money to use. So we would have more customers. And we made a pros and cons list for this too. Pros is, of course, more customers can afford it. We get more customers and our market share will grow. It will increase the popularity of these subscriptions and popularity of Amazon. Cons are a lower profit per customer because it will decrease the Prime users. If you have some kind of other solution, you don't have to pay for all of these services. If you don't use the service, why would you pay for the Prime? And existing customers may change to a cheaper service. And basically, we were thinking the cons are maybe too big in this analysis and this solution, in this second solution. So this is not the way we're going to go. Our third solution is adding sustainability. When you're paying the annual fee of Amazon Prime, you could choose your charity case of the year or of the month, such as planting a tree for every fee you pay, and animal shelters and vaccination of third world country children that are more disadvantaged, and of course women's education in third world countries. This would add more value to the customer because the customer would see that doing something good when they are paying for the Amazon Prime. We made a pros and cons list for this solution too. So the pros are, of course, more value to the customer. As was said, it would be seen as they are doing something good. It would make a better company image. It would build up the brand of Amazon, and Amazon will be seen as one of the good guys on the market because we're doing good. And cons are that this, of course, costs more because of the donations. And there's always the case with the reliability of the charity. So we have to be really careful with what charity we are donating to. There are a lot of examples where big companies have been tricked to give money for like warlords and all of this. So we have to make sure that these are reliable charities. And of course, this requires more marketing, and marketing is always expensive. To educate people with charities, and we have to tell them that we are doing this because otherwise we are only doing it. We are not doing it in a business wise. So our recommendations are: Amazon should get better customer and market knowledge. They have to know how much the price should be, what the people are willing to pay for the content they have. And of course, increasing or making better content, they would pay for more. And the reason with the Kindle Fire for free, we think it's a good idea with the 24-month subscription because of when we had the pros there before, but there were a lot more pros than cons for it. Because the manufacturing wouldn't be that expensive, and it would create more customers for us. It would create more long-term users for the Prime subscription, which of course makes a lot more money than the manufacturing of the Kindle Fire devices will make. And when thinking about implementing these plans, the Kindle Fire leasing requires, of course, short-term activities such as considerable marketing measures to achieve long-term goals and benefits. Their manufacturing line is already open, so we don't have to actually make a new product. We can use the Kindle Fire that is already existing, so that this could be implemented really fast. It needs, of course, a few months of marketing so that basically people know what they are having, what they are getting. And in long term, of course, this recycling of these devices will be really important, because we want to value our, the green values are really important, and they are increasingly more important for the customers too. So we have to be on top of that. And these green values in form of the campaigns are something we would like to do. So the charity cases for third world countries and everything like this, it would be really good for the company image. It would be really good for the company brand, and in that way you will make more money for Amazon. So this was our presentation about Amazon Prime's problems that were displayed by the case. Thank you for your attention.
Should I go now?
Okay, I'm back now in the main video. I hope you this time. I hope you're able to see this. So now we can proceed with the discussion. I want to again, I want to commend team number 3 for making a very slick video. What are the things that you liked, or what are some of the constructive criticisms we could offer to this team so that they could improve? The mic is open. Please raise your hand and I'll let you speak. Anybody would like to comment on? Here I see a hand up from Yenny. You have the microphone. Please go ahead.